be successful. And with what we got going on in this economy today, success is now measured at survival.
Yeah. That's kind of powerful there. Yes, success is measured at survival.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so you like to you did that the order of operations that took me back to, of course, the order of operations. What operation do you do first? What do you do second? Do you do the parentheses? Anybody who remembers those algebra classes and all that stuff? And it's like, what do you do first, second, or third? And when you think about the mindset and how you just analogize that in life, what do I do first? Do I eat? Do I pay my rent? And it is down to survival with some people. It really is. So thank you for sharing that. Now, I would like to say, could you share like two quotes or two sound bites from your chapter that would just intrigue the viewers to get the book from you?
Absolutely. So when writing this chapter, I wanted to look up every definition of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And what I found that all four of them were nouns, right? And the very beginning of the definition of each word started with process. And what we have to do is when we are in our process, we have to determine, do we add? Is it something that we got to subtract or take away? Is it a way that we can multiply? Is it a way that we can divide? And so when we go through process and looking up that definition, process is a series of steps to get to a particular end. And so with knowing that, we definitely have to embrace the process that we're in. And I'm also reminded of Matthew 14:22, where it reminds us that no matter the problems that we face in life, we are always going to be better when we get to the other side of that problem. So life is going to happen. And so when life happens, you got to recognize when it does happen, you got to be aware of how you're going to respond. Are you going to remain balanced? And are you going to get to a solution? Because this is what I do in my day to day, is that I have to figure out, how I'm going to respond when people have not paid to be licensed in the state of North Carolina, or am I going to make sure that when I submit my weekly reports, is it a balance or is it off? And I got to figure out what is the solution so that I make sure that before I present it to the state, that we are in balance. And that's what life is all about. Life is just like the basic math operations, that we got to make sure that we have balance and we got harmony. And this is the sum of our journey. We all experience it in our lives.
Well, look captured the sound bites and what you want people to take away. That you have to think about the add and subtract and divide and how that fits into our life. So I appreciate you so much for collaborating and being a part of this anthology with the other wonderful co-authors. And we are going to show your contact information. I make sure I have that. I think it's spelled all correctly. I try to make sure I'm spelling it correctly. TashanaTaylor.com.
That's
And you
correct.
want to connect with her and make sure that you want to hear more about what she does and how you can be a part of what she's doing. Please connect and reach out to her. So thank you so much. And we are going to put you in the green room and get to our next author, who is going to be, I want to call her doctor too, but she is a guru in what she's doing as well. And that is none other than Miss Yulika, right? Yulika Kimber. And here she comes to the stage now. Hey, Yulika.
Hello, hello.
Hey, you are traveling the world. You're doing great things as well. All of y'all are just amazing. So let's jump right in and give us a little background about you and tell
Uh,
about yourself, what you do.
Okay, well, I'm Yulika Kember. I'm a CPA, MBA, and I'm a business coach. And what I help people do, I help women, primarily women of color. I help them to tell the stories of their business in numbers, and that is your financial statements. So it's nice to say you sell lipstick, but it's better to say I have $1 million in the bank because of lipstick. So we teach them to speak the language of business. I run a online business academy called the Plan to Prosper Small Business Academy. And through that, we do lots of ventures, coaching, accounting, We set up accounting systems. Hey, Plan to Prosper is in the house. And we serve the women, in primarily African American women, because they are the fastest growing demographic of business owners in the nation, exploding over the last several years. But we're trying to make sure that we are building wealth through entrepreneurship, which is what my chapter is about.
Mm-hmm. All right, and your chapter is amazing, and you also have books and all that stuff, all the things in
Yes,
that lineup.
yes.
And so you can tell us a little bit about your book. It's no problem.
Okay, so I have a lot going on. It's a busy time. So I'm writing the Black Women's Business Bible, which is an essential guide for women of color to run profitable and compliant businesses. I have several co-authors. So I'm a part of several cohorts at the same time. So I'm wearing lots of different hats. But it's the same. It's building on the theme of the chapter that is in this book. It's about building wealth through entrepreneurship and really being compliant and understanding what a business is. That's one of the points in my chapter in this building wealth book, is what is a business. People don't know when they're in business, and it's when you're exchanging goods or services for money with the intention of profit. And sometimes we're doing things, but we're not operating like it's a business. So somebody said, well, how much I owe you? And you just give them a price off the top of your head. But I wanted to talk to women about how to build wealth through entrepreneurship, meaning you have to price your product for profit. You have to know how much your expenses are, what it takes. You have to know what you're good at. Because everything, we ain't blessed. Like Ayanna, you're blessed to sing. So I should not be showing up saying, you look at camera coming to do a sermonic selection. That is not my gift. So it has to, but some of us are following in other gifts, or in other avenues because they see money coming that way, but that's not their gift. Their gift is not to make up, or their gift is not to cook or whatever, but they're trying to follow what other people are doing. And I'm encouraging women to see what you can do. My mother put me through Virginia State University cleaning. My mother worked at a hospital. My mother can clean, and I can clean. I don't have a housekeeper. I can afford a housekeeper. I don't have one because I can clean. But my mother earned money because she can clean a house. So she worked at the hospital cleaning the hospital rooms. And then on the weekends and evenings, guess what we did? We cleaned the doctor's houses because that was her gift. So sometimes people are looking for glamorous things, but that might not be where your money is. So I encourage people in the chapter to find what their gift is, especially if it's something that other people don't want to do. If that's your niche, and that's where your money is.
Absolutely. That is right. If you can solve people's problems or do things that you don't want to do, that is your gift, and you can make lots of money doing it. And I always tell people, I said, listen, if you don't want to clean, then work your budget so you can get somebody who does.
Exactly.
And does it well.
And most of the people that I know when I've had people, that is their gift. Like they move in there, even telling me how to organize, how to get the stuff. Like it is a gift. So tap into what your gift is.
Absolutely. I love it. So now your writing process, what did you think about when I know you had things to glean from because you basically capitalized on your gift when you wrote in the book.
I opened my audio thing and I started talking because this is my gift. So I can't say that the writing process, it wasn't a challenge because I was just communicating what the editing probably was more a challenge than the writing, but I knew exactly what I wanted authors, what I wanted the readers and the other authors to connect with what they were saying. And so just writing what my passion has been for the last 30 years. And I just spoke from my heart as basically an unscientific answer.
And no, but I mean, from the heart, it's like it is not work when it is from the heart. Like you said, you mentioned about me singing, right? I don't have to really think about that.
Correct.
And
the thing about businesses, and especially in the area I work in accounting and compliance and business licensing, it's not 50 different ways to do it. You're going to have to do it the same way Walmart does it. They got to get a business license. They got to they got to get product to sell. They got to hire people. There's not 50 with so it's not like I had to come up with it. It's the way of business, and I want to teach people that.
Awesome. And your website is Plan to Prosper?
Plan to Prosper Academy.
Okay, Plan to Prosper Academy.com, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And all
And then
right.
it's a number 2.
Right. Right. Oh, I remember that number 2. That's what stands out. That's what stands out. Well, share 2 quotes, at least 2 quotes or sound bites that would stand
Okay.
out when people
So number 1, as I said before, is knowing what is a business, and a business doesn't have to be a storefront. A business doesn't have a lot of things, especially as African American women in our community. We're already doing these things for free. We're basically event planning for our churches. We're basically the event planner and the caterer, and which is fine, but there's a gift and a niche that you can package and resell that to other people for a profit. So recognizing what a business is. Secondly, is charging what you're worth, not being afraid. You cannot coupon your way or free your way to profit. And I would say, if you're helping a friend, you should pay full price.
Yes.
I don't. Yeah. So the hookup thing is not the way to prosperity. But and then if you're having challenges with that, then that's not your ideal market or customer. So just about entrepreneurship. Oh, and that's sweet. So just understanding what business is, and that it is a way for you to put money in your pocket today. If none of us, let's say our bank account was 0 and we needed $20 for gas, everybody under the sound of my voice could do something to have $20 in 24 hours. We can braid somebody's hair, take their weed down. We can wash their dishes. Like, everybody has a gift to generate wealth. And you have to think from that wealth mindset to be able to think that way. And nobody said you're going to wash dishes forever. But if you needed to get out of a jam, so we get inventive or we get creative out of a jam, but we have to be able to do that into perpetuity, that we aren't just in a jam. Like, oh, so I can solve problems, or I can meet needs, or I can get paid. So I want people to think that way, to think prosperity. It doesn't matter if 10 people or 20 people are doing it, that you can find a way to niche your way and make a profit.
Awesome. And that really sounds like even in as our last, question, thinking about what you want people to take away, that sounds like a big takeaway because it's like, start with your niche, make your money, but then learn how to turn it into, like you said, make it all legal and everything fluid and aligned with a real business, so you can pay real taxes and all that good stuff like that.
Real profitable people pay taxes. I don't know how to say that in the plan. Like, if you're starting a business, but you are trying to avoid tax, it's going to limit your earning potential.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't pay taxes. Guess who pays them? Your customers. Walmart doesn't come up out their pot. They come out, so they're going to sell enough widgets for us to pay their taxes and their stuff and take a profit. So you have to build your product and service mix, that your taxes, your business license, even your salary, your life insurance, whatever you're paying for, is covered in what you're selling. So I think there's a trend out there where people, I don't know where it's coming from, but I curse it in the name of Jesus, where people feel like they're gonna skirt around the system. And some people say, well, Amazon did. Well, when you sell $1 billion product, come talk to me and we can talk about Amazon. That ain't you. Do you know what their payroll taxes are in a quarter? Do you know what their property taxes are? So they have lots of deductions. So I just want to make sure that people are setting themselves up for success, and they have some money to do the things that they need to do and plan for their future.
Sounds awesome. And you're right. That's a whole different talk. So please make sure, here you are, plan to prosperacademy.com. Please make sure that you connect with Miss Yulika Kimber. I want to call her doctor. She could, because she is like a doctor in her
Why do
own
you
right.
keep doing it? What is it? I'm not. No.
No, I know you're not, but
No, thank
your expertise lines up. So
Don't
thank
send
you
me
so
back
much.
to school anymore.
Okay, I won't. You don't have to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, but thank you so much for your
Thank
expertise, and we will
you.
see you in just a few moments. All right, so we have coming to the stage. Next up, we have Miss Samantha Bond. So we will look forward to seeing her, and she is the guru with the business credit. So we want to bring her to the stage. And hello, Samantha. How are you this evening?
I am doing wonderful. I'm so blessed and I'm just so grateful to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Our co-author here that is talking about the business credit. So give us a little bit about yourself and give us the background of who you are.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for just even being here and being able to share this expertise. I want to thank you all, Shiro, for assisting me in putting this collaboration together. Thank you so much, Ayanna, for opening the door and providing a platform for me to stand on. I appreciate that. I'm so blessed. Thank you. Um, well, my name is Samantha K. Bond. I am the CFO of the Key Access International. And I named it the Key Access International because it's actually a key to open doors to business credit by way of starting a business. What I do is I assist and I help entrepreneurs and people and business owners, people from all walks of life. You don't even have to be a business owner. You could just be interested in saying, "Hey, you know what? I want to start a business. I want to monetize off of this and I want to start a business, but I don't want to invest my own money, which you surely can invest your own money, but I want to show people how to access business credit using their own EIN and obtaining anywhere from 35K to $2 million. And I pretty much just show individuals or people who have any background who want to start a business how to obtain these amounts of business credits by starting a business.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So in that, so now, and I'm glad you're able to share your
Mhm.
expertise in our book. So what are some things with your writing process? How did you come about that and thinking about what you wanted to put together? Because you have a lot of knowledge and a
Mhm.
lot of websites and things that you provided in the book. And
Mhm.
so how did you just kind of bring it together and what you want to share?
Okay, so how I brung it together was I first created a book. It's called Access to Millions. That's actually on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with a step by step approach of what I did for investors personally by way of experience, step by step instructions on how I went about starting a business, how I went about communicating with all the other agencies in order to create my foundation and all the necessary tools and put everything into place for the investors to obtain funding for their whatever investments they had. If they had franchises, if they had, if they wanted to be an angel investor, if I mean the list goes on. The list is so long what you can do with your business credit and your business funding. So I just pretty much what I wanted to do and how I put this together was I thought about how I first approached um, entrepreneurialism. And I thought it was more or less like I had to already have the money to invest, which a lot of people approach it that way. I need to have $20,000 of my personal money. I need to have 300K and put my house up for collateral if I wanted to start a franchise. When you don't necessarily have to do that. And I have been blessed to have been shown by investors that you can have your business life and your personal life totally separate. And by way of starting a business and using your EIN is the only way to successfully do that. So I pretty much put in my challenges, my struggles, um, the information that I learned from investors, Also learned, what loopholes there were, legitimate legal loopholes,
Yes.
that people don't address or don't know about, but they are perfectly legal. Um, I just pretty much what I wanted to do was make everybody else's life easier by putting a step by step instruction together in a product to show you how I was able to obtain anywhere from 50K to $2 million the first time I did it. And it blew my socks off. It blew my mind. And I just didn't know, um, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And it surprised me because I was able to access at least up to 2 million. And I said, this is a game changer for me. This has to be a game changer for multiple people, especially those who are in minority demographics who
Mm-hmm.
have no clue how to access this amount of funding. This could
Right.
be a game changer for many across the board.
Well, you surely have packed in some powerful tips and tools to help people to do that. So I really appreciate, that is, there as a, like you said, as a step-by-step roadmap, because
Hmm.
people are asking for, how do I expand the business credit and even get into that vein. And so truly we thank you for sharing that. So as we look a little further, you even talked about it, and I hear you all just in your thoughts, what you want people to take away. And of
Hmm.
course, with that, what do you want
Hmm.
people to take away? And then also, what is something that really stands out that you think is going to capture the reader to read your chapter?
So in this book, and I'm definitely I put in this book pretty much some of the information that I um, used in my other book that I produced, which was how to access the millions. Um, what I want people to take away is that it's really a very simple strategy. If you follow it step by step, you can create businesses for yourself and for the long haul. Literally, you can do this and you can implicate in this process over and over again and create multiple businesses accessing that same amount. Different name, same amount. Different EIN, same amount. You can replicate this and have multiple serial businesses and obtain 2 million for each business. That's a game changer. If you think of it in that aspect, you would be able to implement this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step strategy to start a business and obtain business credit and do it all over again multiple times. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay. To connect
Okay,
with
great.
you, we get in touch with the key access. Is that your
Yes, thekeyaccess.com. And I
right?
just want to let people know that you can get $1 million in business credit faster than you could ever be earning it. You could go to work for 20 years, get promoted. You may or may not get promoted. You can start a business. You may or may not turn over $1 million, but I guarantee you that you can access in massive amounts of business credit in literally weeks. You can literally purchase a business, have the business credit profile set up, and then access way more funding than you ever could if as a consumer. And that is a fact.
Wow. So people need to contact you. And here's how they're going to contact Samantha, thekey access.com. Please
Yes.
make sure that you connect with her so that we can look at how to, like I say, be a game changer. And if she can show you how to do multiple businesses and all of that and obtain the monies and the ways to, to legally get through and to your goals and
Mhm.
dreams, then make sure that you reach out to her. Samantha, I am glad that you were able
Absolutely.
to be a co-author
Thank
in
you.
building wealth, because that business side, that business credit is a part of
Yep.
building our legacies and helping us to grow and let's say leave a legacy for people.
Hmm.
And you're teaching, so it's reach one, each one reaches one, teaches one. So I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
I include all of that information in my master classes. So I just want to offer the listeners the
Okay.
opportunity to sign up and let them know that this information can come to them whenever they're available. So I'm actually giving away $3,000 worth of product and master classes for the first 50 individuals that sign up. I will pick three from those 50 individuals and give them the free products because I believe in actually giving back as I'm also receiving. So it's a blessing all the way around and it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Awesome. Okay, so make sure that you sign up through the key access for the masterclass that is coming up with
Mhm.
Samantha Bond, and I don't think you will be disappointed. So,
Mm.
all right, so we're gonna bring you back in just a few minutes, but we're
Thank you.
going to get ready to close out a little bit with one of our look without on our descent. I always say we're gonna take off and then we're gonna descend. So here we go. We're going to take off and we're going to descend, but we're going to descend with a bang. Okay, so next we will bring to the stage. I'm not going to mess with her too badly. We'll just talk later. I was going to say Dr. Katrina. Oh, goodness. Everybody said, what is going on? I know she's back there like, But we're going to bring Miss Katrina Garrett to the stage. And just, so glad that you said yes to becoming a co-author in building wealth and sharing your expertise and knowledge because you not only talk about, the money coaching side, but your husband, you all have really like, you stand on your own, but you and your husband also collaborate as well. And that is
Absolutely.
that is very powerful. That's an awesome and powerful tool right there with yourself. But give us a little background about who you are and what you do.
My name is Katrina Garrett, as you can see, and first of all, I'm just honored to be a part of the group, honored to be a co-author in a book, and I'm grateful for Shiro Publishing for the work that they have done to help us get to this place. Just a little bit about myself. I do have a degree in accounting, and I do work in corporate America, but I also have some businesses that I do in addition to what we do in corporate America. So I do life coaching and financial coaching of that nature. And I also have two organizations that I am running, which one is Hey Working Woman, where we empower, we value, and we recognize and acknowledge working women of all walks of life and ages. And then I have a group to challenge and transform mindsets called the Renewed Mind Group.
Absolutely. And they are powerful. And I have tapped into, I have tapped into, well, pretty much all of it. Well, that's kind of how it is. Pretty much, when people are doing great things and you're able to connect, which all of you all are just like powerhouses within your own right. I count it an honor that you joined and partnered to help make this vision come through. So I thank all of you all for that because you do have heavy things that you are doing. And I mean, all of you all walk heavy in what you do. And so thank you for stopping by, pulling alongside the road to come on in and be a co-author in Building Wealth because every story has mattered. And I know that it's people are chiming in. We had Kathy that came on who is a coach for me for some of the books that I had been in prior to this one, collaborating in her books. And she said that our book is a wealth of information. So
Awesome.
that's a big plus and kudos, ladies. So tell us a little bit about yourself, but share your writing process because I know we kind of giggled about that. You're like, what am I going to write and how am
Listen,
I going to do it?
listen. First of all, again, shout out to Shiro Publishing who made this writing process easy. For me, I've been teaching on finances for a long time. So whenever the door opens, I get to go in places and then teach on empowering people to do better with their finances. So basically, I pulled from that, but I prayed and was like, Lord, because I never want to teach the same thing the same exact way. So I said, God, what would you have me to share with this group of women or this group of people who will purchase this book from what you've taught me? And so I pulled from my teaching lessons, but I really just imparted what God shared me to share with the group.
I love it. And then as you said, Shiro helped to massage and edit. I'm telling you,
Listen,
that's they were like they told us
listen.
do just write and don't worry, we will get it together for you, but just put it out. And I'm like, Yulika, I'll talk, into the recorder. Sometimes that works for me, just talking to the recorder and all that. So I am glad that you were able to get what you had in your heart out, so that we could all glean and listen. And people are chiming in and say, yep, powerhouse ladies. Exactly. I mean, every one of you all are just amazing. So, all right. So could you give us, like, with the process, give us 2 quotes that you were able to, like, that you think really stands out when people are going to listen to and read your chapter?
So my chapter was about challenging mindsets because I am very passionate about we want money to grow on trees, but we don't want to establish the roots necessary for money to grow, right? So
Mm-mm.
my whole thing is about challenging the mindset because you can't, if you don't steward your own money well for your own personal life, how can you steward your business money well, So I'm really attacking that. And so 2 things that I think stand out is there's a fine line between enabling and helping. To help is to empower someone to do better. Enabling does not help a person get out of a difficult situation, but instead keeps them in a place of perpetual bondage. So I do speak a little bit to that in the book because sometimes we're trying to help people. We're doing things to help people, but we're not really helping them. We're enabling them or we're keeping them in the bondage. And then our funds are tied up. So now we can't do what we need to do with our money, right? And then another thing that I say that I love is broke thoughts translate into broke talk, which ultimately leads to a broke walk. And
Mm,
that's to sum it up. It's like my whole
yeah.
chapter is about change your mind, change your money. So sometimes we're always trying to go out and make more money and do more. And I've made more money. I've gotten additional raises, but I was still broke. And so my chapter speaks to let's talk through the mindset that keeps us in a place of financial bondage, that we can walk in financial freedom so that we can build wealth. Because I can't build wealth from a bound place.
All of those are like, well, truth all day. But if we want to say expanding, and that's what we all are thinking about too, looking how we can capitalize and like Dr. T said, monetize and all that on what we have talked about. All of those are books and pens and mantras and slogans and separate master classes and all of that, because everything you said was just like, yeah. I mean, all of you all have your own. Good grief. Okay, I'm just like, I can't take this. You all are just amazing. But you're right. Broke, talk, walk, all of it is, you just bound, and you can't, like you said, you can't do what you need to do from a bound place. So that is very awesome. So as we kind of go on our descent here, you gave your quotes, but what do you want the readers to really, really get? And you kind of talked about it already, but what you really want them to get from your chapter when you just kind of put the pen down and said, okay, I'm going to present this, and this
I
is what I
want
want readers to hear.
Sometimes we don't know that we can do better because we've always been in a perpetual state of struggle.
Yes.
And so the purpose of my section is really just to challenge you to say, we can do better, but our doing better starts first with a thought. It starts first with how we see ourselves. And when we see ourselves, and when we embrace the thought that we can be better, we can do better, and then that pours into how we think about ourselves, how we think about money, because sometimes our thoughts about money have nothing to do with us. It's what other people think about us. We buy the car that somebody else thinks we should drive. We buy the house that somebody else thinks we should live in because we're trying to impress others, and we're not living in a state of financial freedom because we're making decisions based off of what our family said we were never going to make it. So we say, well, I'm going to prove them wrong. So now we're living to please other people by our choices. So this is us bringing those thoughts in, having a new mindset so that we could walk in freedom and truly walk in the victory that we say, we say we want to be millionaires, or we say we want to be wealthy, or we want to leave a legacy for our families, but we're still operating in the same old mindsets. And like the word says, you can't put new wine in old wine skins. And I'm in a season of my life where I want God to do a new thing. And in order for God to do a new thing, we have to take on a new mindset. So I feel like if I challenge your mindset, concerning finances. And I walk through different mindsets, different struggles, how we better steward our money. So it's basically, I put a mirror up. I tell my story, but it's a mirror for you to find yourself in it, to say, you know what? This is what I need to do better so that I can take on healthy mindset with finances, and therefore do better in my finances and ultimately build wealth. But it starts first in the mind, not in the bank account. It starts first in the mind and not in your bank account.
Wow. Say it one more time.
It starts first in your mind and not in your bank account. And that's the journey that God took me on. Like, I was broke. And I tell my story of being broke. And I tell my story of how I learned to stay broke. And I tell it and how God transformed my thinking. So everything that I tell you in my chapter is the journey that God took me on to get to financial freedom. So I'm in a place in my life where I make 8 times my starting salary. And that doesn't even include what I do for my businesses.
Wow. So yeah. So you walked it, lived it, and now you're stewarding your money.
I want I want as many people to be free as possible. So this is a passion that I've had for years.
Wow. So how can people get in contact with you? Do you have a website or
Yes.
email address? Or...
KatrinaGarrett.com.
Oh, okay.
KatrinaGarrett.com. This
That's
is where you can go to the website. You can book me. I teach you how to develop your financial goals, write your budgets. We develop budgets because any successful business has a budget. There's not one successful business that does business without a budget. So I teach you how to write a budget so that you can meet your goals and hopefully get to the place where you can invest, because wealth is about investing. But you can't invest in anything if you're spending or if you're eating all of your seed. God gives seed to the sower. We got to sow somewhere. So if we're not sowing, if we're not planting somewhere to grow a harvest, how can we're looking for something that we're not investing in. So it's like, but people say, I can't invest because I don't have the money. Well, why don't you have the money? Because there are choices that we're making that are putting us in bondage. So it's walking you through that journey.
Wow. That is, yeah, that is it. So please connect with Katrina, KatrinaGarrett.com. Very simply put, I mean, all these ladies have run us all the way around in circles, but to an expected end of building up our wealth for real. Yes. So I want to bring everybody on the stage. Oh my goodness. Wow. You all are amazing. I love it. So we can do our final, we have so many people out here watching, do our final hellos, goodbyes. And yeah, we're all here. Yes. 5 of us. 5. Oh my goodness. So we be all, grand with it. What number of grace, right? Yes. So so we are expecting it to be a grace on the book. In closing, now, what was the name of your chapter? I wanted to give the names of the chapters so they're clear about.
I think it was Change Your Mind, Change Your Money.
Okay, Dr. T. You muted.
Oh, it was a change mind. It was a change mind.
A change mind. Okay.
The sum of our journey.
The sum of our journey. All right. And Samantha.
Okay. Turning financial pain into profit and prosperity.
All right. And Elika.
I believe it's building wealth through entrepreneurship.
Yep. And mine was life insurance are not curse words.
Good. I like
They
that.
are not curse words, okay? And to go through the same process while you all hear what I was asking you, my process was like I told a story and just started talking, and I thought about when the little man used to come by the house to get the money from my grandmother because she needed to pay her premium for her insurance. And I didn't understand it then, but understanding it now, it made sense because I share in the book. It was like when she passed away, when my grandfather passed away, we did not have to worry about anything because their stuff was paid for. We went to the table where I call my grandmother Mama. We went to the table we were grieving because we all are going to grieve if we are going to the table to talk to a mortician. And they said all you have to pay for would be the programs for the funeral because your mother has already taken care of everything. That was a whole different dynamic than scrounging around trying to find funds from everywhere to get things done. So that was what I really, my heart was just and is to let people know it's, even if you just get something to put you in the ground, that's fine. But I want to make sure that you know now that life insurance is also a buildable tool to provide wealth for you. So it connects with everything that all these dynamic ladies have shared. And please reach out and connect with all of us, because it's time to change. Look, it's time to change our mindset so we can change our money. And I always tell people it begins with making sure you have that life insurance in place, but then it's like that mindset to realize that life insurance is even important. So the mindset is key, and then you build on with the two business gurus that everybody's in business here. But then, like with Yulika, her plan to prosper, with Samantha building that business credit and showing how to build it multiple ways with multiple businesses. This is just a dynamic thing that I'm just like really glad that I was able to connect with you all and you all said yes. And Shiro Publishing, thank you so much for your patience, because you had to walk with me, and I thank you for trying to get this out. It was like a labor of love, and I'm appreciative that you all took the time, like say, took a risk, and Shiro was able to help push us on through. So, ladies, do you have any parting words before we go? We're gonna wrap it up. Any final words? Buy our books, right? I'll give a
I just
final word. Buy our books. Do
I
not
just want
play
to say
games.
thank you for
Buy
having
our
me. Thank you for
buy our
having me.
books.
This is
Yeah, and you are so welcome.
definitely
So we're going to wave farewell to all of our listeners, and make sure that everybody listens, watches the replay and all of that, and share that with others. And make sure that you go to sheropublishing.com
mhm.
/authors to make sure you connect with us and purchase our books, and we will get them out, shipped out to you. All right, ladies, we're gonna look. Woo, we did it. Say woo!
Did it.
Thank you all so much, and have a great evening. Thank you for watching.
All right. Take care, ladies. See you later. Bye.